What's up, everybody? We are here today at Oak Creek Estates in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and we are going to be walking through this Jameson floor plan by Schell Brothers. This home in particular is a 5-bed, 4.5 bath, and it comes in at 3,519 square feet. There's a few different options that you can choose if you are going to have one of these built from scratch. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you know that I have covered Oak Creek Estates. I've also covered a couple other model homes that they've done here in the Sumner County area, in the Landing at Branham, as well as Durham Farms, which is now almost closed out. Branham's already done. They are building now here in Hendersonville at Oak Creek Estates, as well as Millstone. But on that note, my name's Darren A. Wilson. I'm a realtor here in the greater Nashville, Tennessee area. Let's go ahead and take a walkthrough of this Jameson floor plan by Schell Brothers right here at Oak Creek Estates in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Okay, now one thing I didn't mention earlier is that all of the lots here at Oak Creek Estates are a minimum of a half acre. Okay, they do go up to about an acre, and the lot premiums on those are going to sort of differ quite drastically. But the base price of the Jameson floor plan itself, as you can see right now with the incentive, is $991,500. Now it's going to be a little bit over $1 million. Without that incentive, but with the one that they're running right now, it's $25,000 off as of the recording of this video, and that brings that base price down to $991,500. But like I said, when it comes to lot premiums, you're going to have a minimum of half-acre lots. A lot of those lots are going to have no rear neighbor, at least not immediately. Some of them will. The ones that do are the ones that are going to be basically $0 for a lot premium. So basically no lot premium on those. But the one, there's a few, I should say, that are up to an acre, and they have no rear neighbor. You got trees behind you and all that kind of stuff. Those can go up to $120,000. Okay, so depending on which lot you get, pretty drastic difference in what you're going to be paying for the lot itself. Now, to me, the greatest amenity here at Oak Creek Estates is really going to be the space that you have and that really everyone has in the whole neighborhood, because this is not a sort of resort-style amenity neighborhood like you find at Durham Farms or Millstone. If you are sort of interested in that type of thing, those neighborhoods would definitely be better for you as opposed to Oak Creek Estates. The location here is really nice in that it's really close to really everything in Hendersonville that you need to get to over there on Indian Lake Blvd, and you're not far from the Glenbook Center either. But you're sort of secluded back here off of Stop 30 Road. Such an interesting name for a road, but if you're familiar with the area, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, it's right behind it, you do have some farmland and lots of nice trees right there, and it's not right up on all of the retail and the restaurants and all that kind of stuff, but it's not far from it at all. So it's a really great spot, I think. As long as you're not looking for those resort style amenities, there are other places where you can get those. However, Oak Creek Estates really just has the space, right? It has the space between the lots, on the lots, and it has walking trails, underground utilities, that kind of thing. But outside of that, no pool and things of that nature. So with that being said, if you do want to put a pool in your backyard, this is great because you do have enough space on the lot in order to do it here. Whatever it is that you're kind of looking to do, you have a lot more freedom at Oak Creek Estates than you would necessarily have at a place like Millstone, where you can put a pool in your backyard in Millstone or Durham, but the lots are so much smaller. You're usually dealing with 0.2, 0.25 acre, something like that. So it's a lot harder to find a lot that will actually accommodate a pool. Talking about it being on the property, as opposed to here at Oak Creek Estates, where it's definitely something that you can do on the property while still having enough space for a nice yard. If you got a dog that wants to run around, you got kids that want to run around and have a nice little swing set or something in the back, you got enough space to do all of that on these lots. Now, one question people ask me sometimes is, why does a company like Schell Brothers charge more per square foot than a company like Pulte or Lennar or Southeastern, or sort of go on down the list? Not to say that there aren't other similar builders that charge similar prices, but With Schell Brothers, basically you're dealing with a luxury production builder, okay? And they do have a number of features when it comes to the guts of the home, and also just you know, the sort of the level of quality of the different upgrades and whatnot that are available for the homes as well, that are going to kind of affect that price. Now, we'll see a little bit later on in the video when we get into the closet area of the primary bedroom. They actually had some things on display there, which you'll take a look at, regarding the insulation of the home and how it's different than most other builders, as well as the soundproofing that's done on the interior of the home to keep the home nice and quiet in between rooms. We'll get to that in a little bit, but right now let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful, gorgeous, open concept living room and kitchen dining area. You also have the upstairs overlooking that. I gotta say, this is of the 3 Schell Brothers homes that I've been inside of, this is the 3rd one that has this kind of thing going on with the great room, right? They have that huge amount of open light there through the windows, natural lighting coming in really well, and then you have the overlooking 2nd floor balcony over that great room area. Now, the other ones that are like this, you also have the Shearwater and the Kingfisher that are kind of similar in that way. This downstairs and the upstairs sort of overlooking it like that is very similar. There are definitely some differences to the layouts of these homes, and we're gonna sort of point some of those out as we get through this one. But it's kind of funny because of the 3 that I've been in that are you know, model homes, they have that all in common. Okay. Now, this over here is the smart home system I was talking about just a moment ago, and you know, conveniently located right next to the kitchen and the living room. That's going to connect throughout the entire home right there. As you can see, you do have a beautiful, nice and sizable kitchen island right over there. And this kitchen is incredible to entertain at. You do have, this is under the stairs right here. This is not your pantry, okay? You might think it's your pantry. We're going to see the pantry in a little bit, but this is just basically a nice spot to probably put some cleaning supplies and whatnot that you want to use for the living room area. We will see the pantry later. It is a walk-in pantry. I should have gotten it when I was walking through the rest of the kitchen, but I kind of forgot, and I go back later on. So you will see the walk-in pantry. It's located basically right around the corner of the door on the left here that you'll see in just a moment. But first, let's just kind of get a shot of the nice staging that they did here. You can light those glass cabinets up. Have some really nice displays there. It looks really beautiful. Nice ambiance to have in the kitchen. Especially cool with that backsplash right there, which you will see. We'll also get another shot of it when we're closer to the stove and the cooktop in just a moment. Now, this kitchen right here is Schell's Chef Kitchen. Okay, now they have 3 different tiers. This is the highest one that there is. You do have a 6-burner stove here, as well as those cabinets going all the way up to the ceiling, and that built-in refrigerator that we saw a moment ago as well. So this is basically the top of the line when it comes to Schell's kitchen options right here. They have 1 tier down below that, which is called the Professional Kitchen. That's basically a 5-burner cooktop, a wall oven. They do have options for it to be double. And then you also have the Gourmet Kitchen, which is sort of like the base model, right? Which does feature a 4-burner cooktop with the microwave above the cooktop. And then you also have a single wall with an optional double stove if you'd like it. Now, as of the recording of this video, Schell, as part of their current incentive, is offering gourmet kitchens for all of the homes here at Oak Creek Estates. So that's basically like kind of a base price type of thing. But one thing that is not included in the base price here is the backsplash. Okay, so whatever kind of kitchen you are planning on getting, the backsplash is something that is an additional option that you will have to sort of factor into the cost of the home. Okay. One of the things that I really like about this kitchen in particular is the size of this kitchen island. I mean, you can fit 6 different stools around it. That's awesome. You can't always have that kind of space, and it's also really incredible for entertaining. So if you're going to have guests over, you've got 6 spots right here. This is a nice little breakfast spot as well, or if you just get home, you need a spot to drop the mail, right? Probably just have like a little basket on the edge of that counter right there. Although, you know, some people are going to hate that. So don't listen to me if you don't like that. Now, we talked a little bit about the shearwater and the Kingfisher. And what's interesting, what's kind of different about the Jameson here is that it does not have the wet bar over here on the right, okay? Now, you did see that sort of in the front of the home right earlier, like right in this section right here. I got another shot of it because I knew I was going to talk about it. That is where you kind of lose a little bit of space in the Kingfisher and the shearwater as far as I'm concerned. I actually kind of prefer it here in the Jameson where there's a little bit more extra space. You can certainly put a longer table in there if you would like and get rid of that, you know, that other dresser that's over there in the corner. But just kind of one of those small little differences, and you do have that front room with the wet bar in it instead. Now, another option on this home are the decks, okay? So these do not come as part of the base price of the home, and as you can also see, there's a sort of another one over here on the left. And you'll also notice that the nice amount of space that you have here with this lot. That's one of the defining features here at Oak Creek Estates as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that these lots are so sizable, especially compared to a lot of other new construction homes and developments. You just don't really see a lot of stuff, especially in Hendersonville, because everybody's trying to build everywhere they can to, you know, squeeze in as many homes as possible. Not so here at Oak Creek Estates. You do have a minimum of a half-acre lots. Now, this in sort of the shearwater, Kingfisher, this would be where the primary bedroom is at. Not so here in the Jameson. This is a guest suite, I guess you could say. Probably most likely be used as that, although it could certainly be you know, bedroom for maybe another family member that is living with you, whether it's an older family member or, you know, an aunt or an uncle, something like that. Or if it's one of the kids' bedrooms too, that works. You do have 2 bedrooms on the primary floor here. We will check out the primary bedroom in just a minute here. But you do have 2 on the first floor, and you've got the others located upstairs, which we will see a little bit later on in the video. And man, I love that this shower right here is going all the way up to the ceiling with the tile. Really nice. I mean, this is just sort of classic Schell Brothers right here. All of the finishes throughout the home and the different choices that they make, especially with their model homes, are just so top notch. Now, I should mention this home in particular. Obviously, this is a model home. It's not for sale at the moment. It will be at some point. But this home right here has basically been, you know, upgraded to the max, and if this home itself were on the market at the moment, it would be around 1.5, okay, according to the agent here from Schell Brothers. That's kind of what you're looking at. She also told me that, you know, right now at Oak Creek Estates, basically one of the lowest ones that they've come in at is about 1.1 once you know, they got everything figured out. That's that walk-in pantry I was talking about earlier that I promised I was going to come back and get footage of. I apologize for not getting it with the rest of the kitchen earlier. But anyways, so it is possible to get into this neighborhood with the right floor plan, the right lot, and, you know, sort of a minimum amount of upgrades at about 1.1 million. Okay. Now, most of these are going to be higher than that. It's not uncommon to be in the 1.5 range, depending on how much you're looking to put on the home. And if you're getting one of those $120,000, you know, corner lots with the privacy and all that, you may very well be, you know, closer to almost 2 million, you know, depending on how much you want to put into this thing. So just kind of be aware that that's where it's at, but it is possible to get into this neighborhood for about 1.1. Now, here we are in the primary bedroom, and as you can see, really well staged, and I really love the ceiling, the vaulted ceiling that you can see. And man, you always just get such great natural light in Schell Brothers homes in basically every room of the house, which is what I really love more than anything in a home is natural light. You gotta love natural light. I mean, it was such a beautiful day. I'm always so lucky lately. I don't know. I talked about this in my Durham Farms video I did last week. I just keep on catching the weather and in the beautiful days when I actually go out to film. So I've been very lucky lately. But it's a great illustration of what it's like in a home like this when the sun's out. Really beautiful. Now, right here, this is a look at this sort of unique insulation I was talking about a little bit earlier that Schell does. They really stuff their homes to the brim. Now, this is just something that you're going to find in the model home because they wanted to be able to demonstrate exactly what it is that they do with their insulation. Man, this does a lot for energy savings, okay? You're going to take a lot of energy costs down when you are having a home that is nice and very tightly insulated, such as the Schell Brothers homes. And also this over here that you're going to see on the left, this is their in-between, basically the interior walls, the soundproofing insulation that they use in order to keep the home nice and quiet. That's one thing you'll always notice. It's a little bit different about being in a Schell Brothers home. They're quiet. You can sort of snap your fingers and you don't necessarily hear it in the other room. The sound definitely does not carry. If you're a musician or you're somebody who is making noise in the home, that's a really great thing to have, especially, you know, if you're trying to mix something like me in my home. You know, you don't want to bother everybody else with your sound. So Oak Creek Estates is zoned for William Burris Elementary, as well as Knox-Doss Middle and Beach Senior High School, okay? Those are all relatively close to Oak Creek Estates, not too far of a drive for any of those. And also, because you are in Sumner County, you have access to Merrill Hyde Magnet School, which is one of the top-rated schools in all of Tennessee. It is, you know, a school that it's K through 12. You do have to test to get into it, and you have to already be living in Sumner County in order to do that. So if you're not already here, you have to wait a year until you can actually apply for the school. But once again, it's one of the top-rated schools in all of the state of Tennessee. On top of that, we have a number of different private schools, such as Hendersonville Christian Academy. There's also a Montessori school located in Hendersonville, as well as Pope John Paul II High School. It's actually it's an 8 through 12. That's another option as well. And being here in Hendersonville, there are a lot of different homeschooling resources and groups that you have available to you as well. Now, on the retail side of things, if you are a Costco family, if you are a fan of the Rizzler, then Hendersonville is going to suit you just fine, because we do have a Costco just down the street here from Oak Creek Estates, not too far at all. We've also got, you know, most of the staples. We've got Walmart and Target and Home Depot and Lowe's, and we just got a new Best Buy randomly, which I didn't know they were still building Best Buys, but we got a new Best Buy, so how about that? But, you know, all the sort of like general stuff that the suburban conveniences and whatnot that most people are looking for, we have them here. And I'm also proud to let you know, if you don't know this yet, we are going to be getting an In-N-Out burger here in Hendersonville as they are moving their headquarters to Tennessee. We are proud beneficiaries of that. We're going to have our own In-N-Out located right off of Main Street in Hendersonville. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm sure there's a few of you out there that are looking forward to that as well. Now, here we are on the second floor, taking a look over the edge here of this balcony area where you overlook the great room from the second story. As you can see, a lot of great natural light coming in there. I love the look of the fireplace going all the way up to the ceiling, as well as obviously the great chandelier you have there as well. And with this little sort of common loft area over here, you also have some more double doors, some French doors here, which leads into this beautiful office area as well. And we do have a balcony on the second floor, which we're going to check out in just a moment here. And, you know, this is a really great space for, you know, working from home, obviously, or maybe if you are an artist, you're a musician, this is a great spot to be able to come out and relax, take a break when you're not doing something that you're, you know, sort of knee deep in. catch some fresh air here in beautiful Hendersonville, Tennessee, with beautiful skies right here in this late August that I'm filming this. And man, what a great spot to be able to just take a breather when you've been working all day and you're zoned in on something for way too long, like I'm known to do on occasion as well. So as we continue to explore the second floor here, one thing I want you guys to hold out for is going to be right across the way over there. Not that door that's open, but the one right next to it. We're going to go through that. It's going to be one of the last things that we do in the home, and that's actually an immense amount of storage space. We haven't even looked at any storage space because we haven't really encountered any yet. But that area right there does have a nice sizable amount of storage space in it for Christmas decorations or seasonal items of whatever nature, heirlooms that kind of don't have a spot in the the rest of the house. That's a great place for all of that. It is not air conditioned or heated, so whatever you do keep over there, you have to kind of keep that in mind, but we'll explore that in a little bit. Now, if you have not been through the new home construction process before, I do always recommend that you get representation in front of a builder, especially if you've never been through the process before. But even if you have, there's a lot of things that you want to be able to look out for before you get under contract, while you're under contract, okay? All these different phases of the home search, as well as sort of making sure that there aren't any surprises about your lot or about things that may be coming up in the future, things like that. Having somebody there who has been through the process before and who knows for the types of things to look out for can be an immense value to you. Even if you don't work with me, find somebody to represent your interests in front of the builder, because you got to remember, it is the representatives who are our partners and always do such a great job. And I'm very fortunate to have great relationships with the builders and with their salespeople. But at the end of the day, it's their salesperson's job to represent the builder. It's not to represent you and your interests, it's to represent the builder. Now, they want happy customers, but they're still going to do what's in the best interest of the builder. And they should, because that's their job, right? It's somebody like me's job to represent you in front of the builder. And what's also nice about that is that the builders are really good at compensating buyer agents. So it's not something that you have to, really concern yourself about having to come out of pocket for. By and large, especially a company like Schell, they do a great job of compensating agents on the buy side. So it's not something that you have to sort of worry about when it comes to losing any sort of equity in your home when you're buying a new construction home. So please keep that in mind. I do always recommend that you have that. It will help protect you in this process. Now, as we continue on here, taking notice of this great staging that they've done here in this model. And here we come to the final bedroom, the final secondary bedroom. And as you can see, this is sort of set up almost as like another living room, another spot to play board games or draw, as they have in here, with lots of crayons and whatnot for the kids who come around and have nothing to do. This is a little spot for them to hang out. But just to kind of recap on this home a little bit, I think that this home obviously works great for families. I think this would really do well, especially with that second first floor bedroom that you have. That's got a full bath and it's got a walk-in closet to it. That's a really great spot if you do have a parent living with you, or even just a parent or parents that want to come visit a few months out of the year, or you just have frequent guests. That is such an incredible spot for that. You can't always do that. It's nice to have that in a home like this, while at the same time you have these 3 additional bedrooms upstairs, which you can kind of play around with, right? If you want it to be an office, it can be an office. If you want it to be a playroom, it can be a playroom. But either way, you do have this one in particular right here on the second floor, which does have this bathroom here en suite. And to be able to have something that's even nicer than this room on the first floor there for mom and dad, or whoever it may be, maybe it's another loved one, an aunt, an uncle, or a brother or a sister. It's just a really great option to be able to have that in a home like this, because not all of them do, and this one does. Okay, now here's the moment I was talking about a little bit earlier where we're going to go and check out this storage space here. Hefty amount of storage space. As you can see, it was a little warm in here when I went in because it's not air conditioned or heated or anything like that. But man, you've got an immense amount of space in here if you have, like we said, those family heirlooms, or you have certain items, the seasonal items that just don't have a spot around the house during the rest of the year. There's a great amount of space in here, and it's not, you don't have the HVAC right here either, which you do a lot of times in storage spaces like this. So this is just pure storage, and you can get a lot done, and you even have a window, got some natural light coming in, even to this this storage space here up on the second level. Excellent to be able to have that in this home.
If you are interested in the Jameson floor plan or Oak Creek Estates, or really just new construction in general, my name is Darren A. Wilson. I'm a realtor here in the greater Nashville, Tennessee area. I love helping people walk through the new construction process. As you can see here in the background, Oak Creek Estates is up and running. They've got a little bit less than about half the lots left available here. So if you are interested in Oak Creek Estates, now is a good time to get going on things. Also, if you want to learn more about the new construction process, you can check out my free downloadable guide right here, which is the 5 costly mistakes all buyers should avoid. And last but not least, if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to this channel and check out another one right up there in the corner of me walking through the Shearwater floor plan, also by Schell Brothers at the landing at Brandon. See you later. Bye.